We've had the opportunity to go on about 100 international training trips to almost 40 countries. And there have been some pretty amazing experiences. And as you can imagine, we've made a good number of mistakes along the way. We hope that you'll be able to learn from our mistakes as you travel and serve in the name of Jesus. If you travel very much in the US or around the world, you're going to see some things that break your heart. You'll see evidence of great poverty or injustice, loneliness, violence, war, and disease. It's everywhere. And because there is sin in the world, the consequences of sin are also everywhere in the world. On a training trip in Uzbekistan, we visited a couple of orphanages with a team of volunteers from the US. Many of these homes around the world are good places, run by wonderful people, and they're providing a home-like atmosphere for the children who live there. But not all of them provide such a healthy environment. And when you walk into a difficult situation and you're looking at the living conditions and the poverty, seeing evidence of neglect or even abuse, it's very difficult to stay in control of your emotions. Often we remind our team before we enter into what we know will be a challenging situation to be careful about how we react. And this particular team was visiting an orphanage for the first time in Uzbekistan. And they became overwhelmed at the sights and the smells. As they walked around, not even talking to anyone yet, tears were streaming down their faces. And everyone working and living in that place could sense the great pity felt by these visitors. They were feeling shame about where they lived, discouraged that others didn't see any value in what they were doing, and maybe they even felt some hopelessness about their own situation. I remember a time early in our marriage when my wife and I were going through a very difficult time financially. We were young, had very little money. We had furnished our tiny rental with used things we found or rescued, and we were even on government assistance for a while. We didn't feel great about our living conditions. A nice woman from the church came to visit us in our home, and we did our best to make her feel welcome. But she sat on the very edge of our couch as if she didn't want to even touch it. Everything she said and did during that visit made it clear she was uncomfortable. We'll never forget that feeling, and we don't want anyone else to feel like that either. When you have the opportunity to go into a place that's difficult, try to focus on the people there and not their physical environment. Talk to the people and hear their story. Ask about their family and their life. And then if there's a bit of an emotional reaction, it's usually compassion because you're coming alongside them. When you react emotionally to their living circumstances, that feels more like pity, like you're viewing them from above. Be aware of their environment, but focus on the people, care about them personally more than about their living conditions. Ephesians 4:29 says, "Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." Remember that communication is really much more in nonverbal ways. It's not just the words that come out of your mouth that we should be concerned about, but also the emotions and the expressions that can be clearly seen and heard by others. So ask yourself if you're being helpful, if you're building them up, meeting their needs. Are they benefiting from what I'm saying and doing right now? Instead of showing pity with your emotional reaction, try to show compassion and offer acceptance and value and hope and love. Here's some things to talk about. Share about a situation that you've gone through that completely caught you off guard emotionally. What was your reaction? How did that other person respond? Often, we know in advance about a difficult situation that we will encounter. What kinds of things can you decide to focus on or think about as you begin? We hope that you'll keep on learning from our mistakes and keep on traveling, taking the good news with you wherever you go.